pretend that you're not under attack. You can pretend everything's fine. You can pretend that the only universe that exists is Netflix. But at the end of the day, you will be impoverished if you're lucky and killed in most cases. And you can play along with the system and think if you submit to their global social score and their ESGs and their cashless society that you're somehow opting in so you'll be passed over by the system, you'll be left alone, when it's you, historically, that lower the drawbridge to tyranny that the tyrants will eat first.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
So let's take Alex Jones. You don't have to agree with everything Alex Jones says. I like Alex Jones.
I do too.
But I don't agree with everything Alex Jones says. And you don't have to. But Bill Maher famously, and credit to him, said when Alex Jones got banned, he said, we shouldn't be banning people. He said, I hate Alex Jones, but Alex Jones should be allowed to talk. Everyone should be allowed to talk in the town square.
Alex Jones, who is not my friend and who tells crazy lies about me, is thrown off Twitter, I think, and Facebook and a few other platforms. I think he's going to...
Thank God!
That's Senator Gillibrand, well, thank God.
If you're a liberal, you're supposed to be for free speech. That's free speech for the speech you hate. That's what free speech means. We're losing the thread of the concepts that are important to this country. Either you care about the real American or you don't. And if you do, it goes for every side. I don't like Alex Jones, but Alex Jones gets to speak. Everybody gets to speak.
That's where we all need to be.
Reaction's really incredible there.
Yeah.
Cheering for him being banned and not a single clap for him saying free speech should be protected.
Correct. I think they kind of felt maybe, hopefully, they were a little ashamed of themselves going, oh, yeah, crap, you're right. But look at the automatic response. Yeah, we shut him down.
I feel like when they got Alex Jones, there was no safety net. He is a warrior, and he continued fighting, and now he's back in the mainstream. Good for him. But he was renegated to his own site with his own servers, streaming every day to small audiences after they axed him off YouTube. Cancellation.
No one defended him.
No one.
I was on vacation that day.
Yeah.
I was fishing out of the country, and the company that I worked for, which is supposedly in favor of free speech, said not one word in his defense.
And it's like, first they came for Alex Jones. I didn't care because
totally
I was
right.
Alex Jones. Yeah, it's the old adage.
What did you think of Alex Jones?
Loved him to death. I still talk to him to this day. I think that he's great, and I think that many more people should have been vocal when he was initially banned, because I was actually there. I
was
remember
on a fishing trip that day. And,
yeah.
I was in Labrador, and I've regretted it ever since that I didn't come out of the box. I wasn't there. I was off the air. But I completely agree. It was not even about Alex Jones. It's about you can't censor people, period.
Exactly. And Tucker, I remember the exact day when he got censored. I woke up and I looked on my phone and it said, Alex Jones banned from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. He was banned everywhere. It was a mass banning, mass censorship effort to silence him. And again, I really didn't have an introduction into politics, but I had learned a lot of, things from Alex Jones up front, and everything that he was telling me was not false. The people who condemn him and say that he's a crazy conspiracy theorist do not listen to his show every single day, because I worked for him for 2.5 years. I didn't know the 3 branches of government when I started. Now I can tell you international policy and what's going on all over the world right now, because I have listened to Alex, and he's talked about, the government corruption historically that we've been through, all of the different operations, such as Operation Mockingbird, Operation Paperclip, a lot of these things, the Tuskegee experiment, which is why, the Black community is so apprehensive for vaccinations in the modern day. He talks about a lot of these things, and our government doesn't like that. Our government doesn't like being exposed. They don't like people who are willing to tell the truth and people who are willing to push back against the narrative. Look at the fact that the DHS just updated their bulletin to say, hey, if you're spreading distrust in the government, that could be considered terrorism. I don't think so, but
I couldn't, of course, agree with you more, but I'm fascinated by the hate for Alex Jones. I'm not a daily Alex Jones viewer. I don't view anything regularly, actually, but I think Alex Jones seems really talented. He's smart. He's funny as hell. He's truly funny. He's a lot more talented than I am in a lot of ways. That's my takeaway from Alex Jones. But why is he such a threat? Like, why would you hate Alex Jones? I've never understood that.
Because he's telling the truth, Tucker. And again, I know Alex personally, and I've met a lot of people in this industry. And one of my biggest takeaways is that there are a lot of people, especially in conservative media, that are in this for money and fame. They don't actually care about this country, and they don't actually care about America. They're scared about being censored. They're scared about, hurting the wrong people's feelings, not getting the proper endorsement. Alex doesn't care about any of that. Alex cares about the truth. He has since day one. He has made mistakes for sure, but he comes out, he apologizes for it, he corrects the record, which is something that many people in our media refuse to do. So the people who hate Alex Jones hate him because he is everything that they wish that they could be. Somebody who is willing to tell the truth, willing to fight for this country, and actually cares about humanity, not just America, but humanity as a whole.
Now, thanks to people like Alex Jones, who took the initial brunt of the weapon, the cancellation weapon, now there are lots of different platforms, lots of different apps, lots of different applications. I mean, Elon's taken over Twitter.
The year is 1995, and InfoWars launches the last of America's counter-globalist probes. In a freak mishap, Infowars.com and Alex Jones are blown out of their trajectory into an orbit which freezes his life support systems and returns Alex Jones to Earth 25 years later.
Transdimensionally over the space-time continuum through full space, where people are extremely lazy. The social engineers are there laughing. What we envisioned 100 years ago, 20 years ago, is now reality. While the society unravels, men run around totally frantic, not knowing how to be men, and women run around frantic, not knowing how to be women, and they don't understand that it's an animating contest of life and that it's fulfilling to be informed, it's fulfilling to be involved, it's fulfilling.
InfoWars, tomorrow's news today.
We interrupt this broadcast with a special report from the front lines of the InfoWar. Attempts have been made to neutralize the info warrior known as Alex Jones. Countless attacks have been witnessed and reported in an effort to bring him down. Alex Jones has been sighted on the battlefield fighting against the forces of evil.
We're not going to go down and just shut our mouths and just put up with this. We know where the bodies are buried, folks, and one way or another, we're going to stay on air.
We're receiving reports that Alex Jones has broken through the front lines and is now heading toward the broadcast studio. All efforts to silence him have failed. Emerging victorious against the New World Order, here's your host, Alex Jones. Find the InfoWars transmission at Infowars.com/show. If you're receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
It's Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. I'm coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, Austin, from the InfoWars News Center. We have an incredible transmission lined up today. The Firebrand, exposing the COVID emergency and hoax. Chris Sky in studio, third hour, hosting fourth hour. I'll be here for at least 3 hours. We're going to open the phones up today and cover the waterfront of news. All right. Where should we begin? Where should we start? Maybe first with this shirt I got given a couple years ago, and I was too fat to wear it then. I've lost about 25 pounds, still a little too big, but I'm able to wear it. And I wonder what message this shirt sends to the establishment. I wonder who gave me this shirt. I wonder who gave me this shirt in the New York Police Department. And they told me, go ahead and wear it. We don't care. We want them to know that we're not with the system. Very high-ranking individual gave me the New York SWAT team shirt. And just as a little message to the New World Order, we're just going to leave it at that you don't control the people you think control the American people. We're not criminals. We're trying to save the country. And most of the military and police know that. They're not our saviors. I'm not their savior. But together, with God working through us, we can save ourselves, working together. Black, white, Hispanic, old, young, Asian, gay, straight. As long as you don't target children, we are all on the same team at the end of the day. But I got to tell you, the devil's very real, and I would get close to God, folks. Not judging people, I'm just saying. All right, I was sitting here looking at all this incredible news we're going to cover, and I was thinking, what's the most important thing I can say when I start the show? And it's this. We are veterans, all of us now, of biological warfare attack. We are veterans of psychological warfare attack. Pentagon admits it. We are veterans of radiological and electromagnetic attacks with the 5G and the rest of the spectrum. We are really victims of this, but we're going to be overcomers. But if you're under attack and don't know it, you're going to lose the war. What does G.I. Joe say? Knowing is half the battle. So we're under attack with the open borders and the human smuggling and the fentanyl and the devaluation of the dollar and the attack on the family and the attack on children, sterilizing them, and 20+% of the public on serotonin reuptake inhibitor, antipsychotics, and antidepressants, eating people's brains and livers. We are under total, absolute assault. And it doesn't matter who you are. You could be a police officer, you could be a school teacher, you could be a trash collector, you could be a politician, you could be a musician, you could be a nurse. The New World Order's coming after you, and you can pretend it's not when your son has a heart attack and can't ever play basketball again, Bronny James, and that college made them take it. You can pretend this isn't affecting you. You can pretend the exploding crime and the inflation isn't affecting you. You can pretend the war in Ukraine isn't affecting you, but it is. You can pretend the hundreds of millions that are on the verge of starvation, more than 65 million extra that have starved to death, the UN estimates. They ran the program to do it the last 3.5 years with the lockdowns and the rest of it. But that collapse of the third world will then be used to flood the first world. We've got a lot of news on that front. So you can pretend that you're not under attack. You can pretend everything's fine. You can pretend that the only universe that exists is Netflix. But at the end of the day, you will be impoverished if you're lucky and killed in most cases. And you can play along with the system and think if you submit to their global social score and their ESGs and their cashless society that you're somehow opting in so you'll be passed over by the system, you'll be left alone, when it's you historically that lower the drawbridge to tyranny that the tyrants will eat first. And here's a great example of the war against humanity right here in front of me. Rand Paul escalates fraud criminal referral. It's an Infowars.com article, and it's got his official letter and him on TV talking about it. And it's a good headline, but I would have just said, Justice Department stonewalls Senator Paul's call for criminal charges against Fauci. Fauci ran conferences called "In Support of Gain of Function," close quote. He's in the emails telling the top scientists in the US and Europe, let's cover this up and tell them it didn't come out of a lab and cover up that we made it. He's on record producing the vaccine before they even released it. so-called vaccine. He's on record then lying to Congress and saying that they doesn't even know what gain of function is and that Senator Paul is wrong and that it's not happening. He's caught dead to rights, not lying like they said Roger Stone did in Congress, which he didn't, saying he'd never talked to Julian Assange, which he hadn't. Julian Assange was all over TV then. We were trying to get him. I tried to get Roger to get him. He said, well, I talked to this guy, Credico, that knows him. Maybe he'll come on. Prison sentence for that. Saying he lied to Congress. He was in contact with him with no email, no witnesses, nothing. Assange said, I never talked to Roger Stone. How does it affect us if Roger did lie to Congress about that, which I can tell you dead to rights, I was there, he didn't. Where's the crime? Where's the victim? Where's the person that's hurt? But in the case of Joe Biden and Obama and the globalists and all the things they've done to this country, just the human smuggling alone that they've authorized and green lit, it's just staggering. And what have they done since then? Well, Obama, that's who runs the administration, the third administration of Obama, the placeholder's Biden, didn't just continue the funding to the EcoHealth Alliance and the Wuhan lab in Wuhan, China. He increased the funding. So he's continuing the illegal research that was moved in 2015 when it became a big national issue because scientists went public all over the news then, that Fauci was weaponizing SARS into COVID viruses and that it was completely illegal. And then he gets up before Congress and says he knows nothing about it. Zero, 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 zero. When he is on C-SPAN in 2017, 18, and 19, we played the clips ad nauseum, saying, we're creating gain of function. There'll be a new virus out of China we use to blow up, that's a quote, the global regulatory systems based on our FDA, including here, where it takes years to approve a drug or vaccine. So the big story here is they're making more bioweapons. They're making bioweapons in Ukraine. They now admit they are. And the Justice Department won't even respond to Senator Paul because they're a captured group at the top of complete criminals endangering all of our lives, including their own lives. Again, morons, crazy people, no common sense, a bunch of yes men and women, a plague on our country. They've made themselves the enemy of humanity and of themselves. No self-preservation. Holy diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? Oh, what's becoming of me? Ride the tiger. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Gotta get away. They asked Rodney James Dio what the song was about, and it was about Christ saving an alien species on another world. Like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. The funny thing is, since I was a teenager, I knew what the song meant. I knew it was a Christian song. You can hide in the sun till you see the light. Here's the best part of the song. Between the velvet lies, there's a truth as hard as steel. The vision. No. Life's an ever-ending wheel. Jump, jump, jump. No need to look so afraid. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to the big news. So we have this incredibly corrupt, evil, wicked, child trafficking demon force who knows we're awake to them. They know their system is exposed, their engine of spiritual power is the destruction of children and their innocence, desperately trying anything they can now to convince us that we're the criminals. Here's an incredible example from last week. I got so busy, never even covered it, should have. I guess it broke Friday. The Sound of Freedom. Thousands of donors helped make the movie. One man gave $500. And then his girlfriend, who had a kid with a man, reportedly took her child. That happens all the time in custody battles. Most of the Amber Alerts you see is when some mom or dad runs off with a kid. You know, they get him for 2 days and then they run to another state and there's Amber Alerts and the rest of it. And they ran the headlines, ABC News, CNN, major Sound of Freedom donor, major producer charged with child trafficking. Thousands of donors, small donation. Had on his Facebook that he made a donation years ago to the film that was made in 2017 and suppressed for 5 years. And if you read all those articles, they never said that it was $500. They never said that they had thousands of donors. They never said he didn't grab a kid off the street they didn't know. It was his girlfriend grabbing her child. And we're not defending what happened. We don't know the full story. But that's how fake news works, folks. Just like they did to me 2.5, 3 years ago. We get subpoenaed. We give them everything in these kangaroo cases. The judges still defaulted us and said we were guilty and told juries we were guilty. Unprecedented. That's the new model. Now it's happening to thousands of people, not just me. I was the test case. And so we hand over hundreds of thousands of emails with the keyword searches, unopened emails the judge ordered us to give them. And they scan it and find a hidden link to child porn in an email we never opened. And there's national headlines. Alex Jones sent child porn to Sandy Hook families, ABC News, Associated Press. I have people walking to me on the street and say, you ought to be in prison for that child porn. And I just laugh at them. I go, hey, that's you in the Democratic Party. That ain't me. You got the wrong guy. Not into kids. I'm not even into young women. I like the full bore, on fire, peaked out prime women, like my wife. I'm 49, she's 44. That's right. That's way. And if you read all those articles, they never said that it was $500. They never said his girlfriend grabbing her child. Fake news works, folks. We get subpoenaed. We give them everything in these kangaroo cases. Now it's happening to thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands of emails with the keyword searches, unopened emails the judge ordered us to give them. And they scan it and find a hidden link to child porn in an email we never opened. And there's national headlines. Alex Jones sent child porn to Sandy Hook families, ABC News, Associated Press. I have people walking to me on the street and say, you ought to be in prison for that child porn. And I just laugh at them. I go, hey, that's you in the Democratic Party. That ain't me. You got the wrong guy. Not into kids. I'm not even into young women. I like the full bore, on fire, peaked out prime women, like my wife. I'm 49, she's 44. That's right. That's way better than women in college. Let me tell you, that they're in their prime. See, you got me wrong. They got a name for it. Not going to, with a family show, say it, but MIL. Another word. But the point is, the FBI gave us a letter, which they rarely do, and said, no, Jones is the victim of this. He was sent unopened child porn. But they didn't care. They rode that lie around.
申し訳ありません。